Nigeria, by extension, Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say. All right, a Chinese-made artificial intelligence model called DeepSeek has shot to the top of Apple's Store downloads, stunning investors and sinking some tech stocks. Now, its latest version was released on the 20th of January, quickly impressing AI experts before it got the attention of the entire tech industry and the world. So US President Donald Trump has come out to say that is a wake-up call for all US companies who must focus on competing to win. You may be wondering, what is DeepSeek? Even me, as I did like this, so I'm here to learn, because so many things around technology I'm not so vast in, but because we are an informative show, we have to be intentional about informing our audience. So luckily, I'm not going to be talking about DeepSeek today. We have an expert that will join me. So it's another beautiful episode on your favorite primetime show, What Are You Saying Ways? And my name remains Osayua Mesali. And today, as I mentioned earlier, Orume Dominic is an AI expert and also a consultant and also this blockchain architect. He will be my guest and he'll join me much later to discuss this buzzword that has been going around in the tech world, you know. So remember, Ways is all about you. In case you want to learn about DeepSeek, you can call in to ask the guest a question, right? You are the why in Ways, so be a part of the conversation every single day. And of course, add your voice to the discussion. You can also head on to our YouTube channels at Official Upgrade TV. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, invite your families and friends to join, and of course, join the show right now. So when I open the phone lines, like I said earlier, or as I said earlier, you have to call in. Please call us and let's hear what you have to say. So whilst we are trying to understand what DeepSeek is about, let us ponder on the quote for today. Now, it says, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risk. So I chose this quote today because like I'm sure you are like me. Honestly speaking, technology has been a lot for me. I literally had to start to intentionally psych myself to be focused on, right, how I can start to intentionally learn some of these tech applications that are available. And guess what? Since I did that, my life has truly changed, because things just, I'm able to quickly put my ideas together and all of that. So I'm really curious to learn what DeepSeek will be about. And of course, when we delve into that conversation much later, I would love to also hear your thoughts on this and, you know, what you are learning, if you are learning from our guests. Now, we'll take a break. When I come back from that break, I want to touch on my news interests for the day. Stay with me.
Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
Hi, thanks for staying with us. Now, NYSC raises core members' allowance to 77,000 naira. Don't say this thing, we don't hear and sing so. But hey, the Director General of the National Youth Corps says, that's Brigadier General Yushau Ahmed, has announced that the core members will begin receiving a new monthly allowance of 77,000 naira starting from February 2025. The DG also disclosed this on Thursday whilst speaking to the 2024 Batch C Stream 2 core members in Katsina State. He also said that he confirmed that the increment had been included in the 2025 federal government budget and will take effect once the budget is passed. It's okay. Oh. So I just thought to mention it. So good news for core members. I'm hoping that this actually just, really does happen. Now, US President Donald Trump reiterated on Thursday his threat. He has threatened BRICS people with a 100% tariff. So he reiterated that threat to place a 100% tariff on BRICS. BRICS nation as the deadline loomed for him to impose tariffs on, of course, Canada and Mexico. Trump had previously threatened them. If you are wondering what BRICS is, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And I hear Nigeria wants to join BRICS. So he had previously threatened 100% tariffs on BRICS nation. If they create a rivalry or like a rivalry currency or a rival currency to the dollar, which he doubled down on Thursday night. So the idea that BRICS countries are trying to move away from dollar transactions while we stand by and watch is over. That's what he said. He posted it on his Truth social media platform. He said, we are going to require a commitment from these seemingly hostile countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar. Now, wow. Or they will face 100% tariffs, he continued. Trump's comment on possible BRICS tariffs came days, of course, before the February 1st deadline that he had set shortly after taking office, whereupon he would place a 25% tariff on neighbors like Canada and Mexico unless they crack down on illegal migrants crossing the US border and, of course, flow of the transactions that are happening in that place. Now, Donald Trump. I want to ask a question, just from a layman's standpoint. These transactions that the world is always, forced to transact with a dollar, who is it benefiting? That's the question I would like to just ask and leave it there. Because I remember that China had come out to say that, we could transact with them directly. And I was really looking forward to that because it makes no sense that I want to buy something from China. I have to go to US first to collect their dollar and then use it to go and buy. And like all that entire conversions. It's only beneficial to the US as far as I'm concerned. So I would really look forward to when countries will begin to transact, you know, without having to worry about a universal currency. That's my thoughts. So if I want to go to Dubai, I can spend my naira there or whatever it is, or I mean, let's just be, because I've been trying to wrap my head around why I need to convert money to go to one place first, then now go and buy something. All of those things, it just compounds the entire transaction, and it makes me even spend much more that I would have spent if I probably just went direct to them. I'm really looking forward to kind of like find out more about what is happening with Nigeria and China. That's agreement that President Buhari had signed. I think President Tinubu also came and said the thing is still going to continue like that. But I don't think I've heard anybody transacting directly, but I really want to hear what it is. But I don't think all these threats really makes any sense, because truly, if the world decides to cut off from the US, now who go suffer? Because everybody, and this is why I think this kind of things is any serious country, you start to look inward and just strengthen your country. So you just move away from all these kind of threats or no threats, and see how you can build your country without any form of dependency. We have depended on these countries or these economies for too long. Let's start to look internally, right? I am sure that the guys that came to form the BRICS, they got tired and they said, you know what, let's just boycott these guys and let's do transactions and make it seamless and easier for ourselves. But yes, Donald Trump is not, he said no, if you try it, 100% tariff. So I'll move on to my final story for today. I think this is good news for us in the entertainment industry. It says the Nigerian entertainment sector would hit $13.6 billion market. It will be a $13.6 billion market by 2028. And this was a report by PricewaterhouseCoopers, that's PwC. They revealed that Nigeria's entertainment and media sector will grow from $9 billion that is currently at to a $13.6 billion industry by 2028, and the industry records substantial growth on the continent. Now, in South Africa, the sector is expected to increase from 16.1 billion to about 19.8 billion, while Kenya's revenue will reach about 4.8 billion by the end of the forecast period, up from the previous 3.8 billion that it had in 2023. PwC's 2024 outlook indicated that the three African markets will see revenue growth ahead of the global average of 5.0% in 2023. They also noted that live music has finally recovered to surpass pre-COVID revenue levels, and other sectors like internet advertising are achieving impressive scales, while ongoing infrastructure deployment and rapid growth in data usage will fuel demand and drive fixed and mobile service revenue growth. PwC also stated that much of this growth will be caused by rapid expansion of digital platforms and services. So sectors such as the internet advertising, video game, esports, over the top streaming, and music, radio, and podcasts are experiencing significant growth across all three markets. So yes, what a beautiful time to be alive. We're happy because we're in this sector, and hopefully we'll be able to tap into this, what's it called, 13.6 billion. We'll take our own share from the market. All right, I'll take a break now. When we come back from that break, let us learn about DeepSeek and, of course, hear from the experts. Stay with it. All right, thanks for staying tuned. Now, according to a report by the BBC, what makes DeepSeek so special is the company's claim that it was built at a fraction of the cost of industry-leading models like OpenAI, because it uses fewer advanced chips. That possibility caused chip-making giant NVIDIA to shed about almost 600 billion, that's about 482 billion pounds, of its market value on Monday. the biggest one-day loss in U.S. history. Now, DeepSeek also raises questions about Washington's effort to contain Beijing's push for tech supremacy, given that one of its key restrictions has been a ban on the export of advanced chips to China. Beijing, however, has doubled down with President Xi Jinping, right? Declaring AI a top priority. And startups like DeepSeek are crucial as China pivots from traditional manufacturing, such as clothes and furniture, to advanced tech like chips, electric vehicles, and AI. So what do you even know about all of these jargons that I've just said? What do you know about DeepSeek? What exactly is DeepSeek, right? I'll simply put it's an advanced sensing technology that can penetrate deep into the Earth's surface, allowing us to detect and analyze underground structures, minerals, resources with unprecedented accuracy. Wow. So why is DeepSeek on the lips of everyone right now? And yeah, that's why we have our guest here, Orume. Dominic, he's an expert AI consultant and blockchain consultant, and he will be helping me to understand DeepSeek and how the world will benefit from it. Thank you for joining me, Orume. Are you there? Good evening. You're muted. If you can hear me, can you kindly unmute yourself?
Thank you for having me. I'm grateful.
So you see all these things I'm saying, you can clearly tell that I am a novice in this matter. So let me pretend, let me pretend like somebody that is watching me now is also a novice. They don't know what DeepSeek is. They don't know what all the jargons that I've just said. Please, can you kindly break it down? What exactly is, and why is it all of a sudden a buzz around? What's DeepSeek?
Okay, I want you to imagine an artificial intelligence that does not follow instruction. It just figures out things by itself. And that is what DeepSeek is. It thinks like a human. And in my book, From Code to Consciousness, I expressed how artificial intelligence can go through supervised and unsupervised learning process to start ensuring that it gathers enough data to be able to process and think, make decisions, and complete whatever task that you give to it like a human. It also helps, that's DeepSeek, to process massive amount of data, much more than any artificial intelligence model that is currently alive right now, from the Google Gemini Advanced to OpenAI to Anthropic AI. DeepSeek actually beats it all. And then they went further to even release another version of it about 24 hours later, which was called the Janus Pro B. And that version that they released goes further to be able to generate videos, goes further to be able to generate images, much more than artificial intelligence models like Sora, DALL-E that have already been existing. So it makes decision-making process to truly be faster, and DeepSeek is changing the narrative in the artificial intelligence world. You made mention of something earlier, that it was actually done a bit cheaper than what every other artificial intelligence model have been produced with. And that is very true. Imagine having 1,000 oranges and pick one of the orange out of that 1,000. DeepSeek was done with 1/1,000 of the cost that was used to create other artificial intelligence models in the United States. Imagine DeepSeek, imagine other artificial intelligence models was done with like maybe $600 million. DeepSeek was done with just $6 million. So that's the reason why a lot of tech investors and tech giants, they are wondering, whether do we truly need the amount of GPUs that the other artificial intelligence CEOs, companies, they've been claiming that we truly need? And do we truly need that much amount of money to be able to truly bring this technology to life? And this is what has sent Silicon Valley into panic, because DeepSeek has been able to achieve
it's good for them to panic, because you see, I've always questioned the what's it called, the reason behind certain kind of costing, that you just see that everything is just, because I feel like it is the mindset of a Chinese company to just say, you know what, let's make it as cheap as possible. Do you understand? Affordable as possible, so that we have, Chinese people always think mass market. And that's why, I think this is really causing trouble. But help me understand, what exactly is the underlying technology behind DeepSeek? Because I'm still trying to, yes, you've said it, but I'm still trying to wonder how they are able to do all of these things. So maybe for somebody that is listening, and for me too that is here, I really want to understand what is the underlying technology in behind DeepSeek?
In the words of in the words of the wise man, he says that the future does not wait. The smart ones, they move first. The underlying technology behind DeepSeek is GPUs and microchips. And you notice recently the US even gave a ban to China that they should stop exporting microchips and GPUs to China, so that China will not be able to meet up with this competition, especially with the AI advancement of technology. However, they've been able to produce, even with that ban, and like you were saying, I think I was listening earlier on your show, the BRICS nation will be slapped with tariffs, right? And even with those bans and with those tariffs, the Chinese nation have been able to produce a model using GPUs, microchips, that thinks faster, is able to process massive amount of data, much more than the US. And this will change businesses. This will also see that jobs of the future will change, and then technology will never, ever, ever be the same. If you don't understand what is happening, you're already left behind.
I don't know. And I don't want to be left behind. But when you say DPU, what do you mean by DPU? I understand what microchips are, but what is DPU, please?
Oh, it's not DPU.
What is it? GPU. So what is that?
Yes. GPUs are graphics processing units.
Okay.
They are very fast microchips processors that are able to compute extremely well. Remember, in this last article, there was an artificial intelligence conference that was held in let's say about 2 months ago, where the CEO of NVIDIA brought out a super powerful computer that can process at 1000x the speed of what is currently available with the computers. And that is because of the processing speed of these GPUs. Some of them can process at, the processing speed is in hertz. So in physics, they say the SI unit of maybe sound is decibel. This GPU, their SI unit, the frequency is hertz. They process in very high level of frequencies to be able to analyze and process massive amounts of data across 700 billion nodes from the World Wide Web. And this is the reason why they are extremely powerful.
Now, so I talked about DeepSeek sensing technology, right? Where it's able to sense minerals. I'm trying to pull out that part where I talked about it's being able to sense minerals and some other stuff, right? How does this sensing technology, how does it work?
What do you mean by sensing minerals? And
I'm trying to pull out, just give me a few minutes, because it said something about the ability for it to detect. Okay, let me find that, because it was something around the ability for it to detect. So in my head, I was thinking, is it that, for instance, they can use DeepSeek in the mining industry, right? Is it something that can be used across those our industries that require us going down into the earth to kind of like extract things? So for instance, be it mining, be it like crude exploration and all of that. But I'll find what I had seen earlier, then I'll come back to that. But do you have any idea on that while I look for it?
About 8 months ago, I was in Osun State, and while I was in Osun State, we were looking forward to securing, or we just secured a gold mining license from the Osun State government. And there was a device that we were using at that point in time to be able to detect some minerals that are on the earth surface. So if you have like maybe gold and you use that device to come close to it, it will detect it. The reason why it's able to detect it is because some data has been programmed into that device that will be able to see that whenever it possibly scans that material, the material would be able to, it will recognize the material, it will analyze the material and use the pre-stored data. Because, computer, when we're young, it is garbage in, garbage out. So whatever data has been stored into that particular device, it will use that pre-stored data to analyze it and know that this product is gold, this product is silver, this product is bitumen, this product is whatever natural resource it is. And that truly is applicable with DeepSeek. Artificial intelligence cuts across all industries. So it is not, like I always say, artificial intelligence is not coming to take your jobs. It is coming to replace those people that refuse to learn how to use artificial intelligence. For example, we're having this conversation over the internet. When the internet came, that's the World Wide Web, there are a couple of people that were against it. They thought that it will never help their business. However, it is a situation of, are you going to now use it to be able to scale your businesses? And the reality is that that's what artificial intelligence is doing. Most businesses that use the internet then, they are truly able to scale their businesses, and just like we are now able to have this digital call and be able to educate and inspire your audience at the moment. So artificial intelligence, when it goes into the mining industry, what it will do is to be able to see that it can crunch the massive amount of data that can help it to quickly detect more mineral resources that is available with this type of soil. So they might say, a particular geographical area, this is the temperature, this is the type of soil, this is the type of texture that it has, or the density of the earth material, and it can say, okay, based on this fact, I think that we would possibly have lithium in this particular place. Maybe it would have something like maybe gold, iron, or those type of different materials that would not be available. DeepSeek truly can deliver such astonishing
I think you've answered the question, because he was talking about advanced sensing technology that penetrates deep into the Earth's surface, allowing us to detect and analyze underground structures, mineral and resources. So I was just wondering how this can really help when it comes to different kinds of things with our infrastructure, and some of our. But I think you've nicely landed that. So for and for the sake of educating us, right, do you think that going forward, right, this would also kind of like, because you see, if for instance I wanted to move to Osun State, let's pick that place for instance, right, before, the kind of technology, the kind of equipment, everything I would deploy, sometimes you would even literally have to go and then dig and dig and dig. So does this mean that, first of all, we start to see efficiency with some of these things that we're doing? And does it necessarily mean that some of the exploitations or explorations rather that we begin to experience will now become at very, very cheaper prices for us? Do we see it helping us to cut costs for the things that would have done naturally before, deploying a lot of equipment to do?
Yes, it will actually help things to be much more efficient. And like artificial intelligence does, it helps to save time and cut costs. It is an African proverb that says that a door is easier to open from the inside, to open when you have somebody helping you to open it from the inside. My pastor always makes that illustration. And the reality is that when you work with data, in the words of a wise man, it says, if you don't have anything in your head, you cannot go ahead. So when you work with data, it then means you have something in your head, you have a framework, you have insight, you have light into being able to ensure that you get more natural resources, maybe be it gold, be it silver, be it bitumen, cobalt, whatever it is, you can get much more of that because you now know the exact point that you can go drill. You know, it's like imagine a boxer that is training. The boxer is punching that bag that is in front of him. There's a target for him to punch, and target is in front of him. Instead of him to punch directly in front of him, he's blindfolded and then he's punching to the extreme right and punching to the extreme left, which means that he's not hitting his target. And why is he not hitting his target? Because he's blindfolded and he's not seen, means there is no data. With artificial intelligence being able to crunch data, structure it, process it, and simplify it for clarity, it will see that that boxer is now having his eyes open and is seeing, and then is able to hit the target very well. So it will definitely help to save costs and definitely help to improve efficiency in the mining industry. And this we've been able to do even with companies like Aviot, which is a financial company that came in from Canada, and they, like I said, were able to secure that mining license last year.
Okay, so Orume, quickly, because since you're touching on data, before we go on a break, right? First of all, I would like to ask that, are there limitations to the kind of data that DeepSeek will be able to collect? So for instance, maybe I'm a farmer, you know, I just want to check how good the soil is for what kind of crop it might want to, that might do well in this particular field. Would they be able to use it? If I'm a miner, of course, will I be able to use it? If I'm inside the, you know, are there limitations to the type of data that DeepSeek would be able to collect and analyze? That would be one. Then secondly, how accurate is a data that is, you know, collected by DeepSeek, right? The analysis, and how accurate will that be?
This is a very important question because it borders around the ethical part of artificial intelligence and also what is truly acceptable. Just like you have public goods like healthcare, education, transportation, that even though you are fat, you are slim, you are black, you are white, you should be able to access healthcare, transportation, and those things. It's the same way. No type of data is limited from DeepSeek. DeepSeek, which is an artificial intelligence model, is excited when you give it data because it will be able to help it expand its scope of operation. So any type of data, it would accept it. And when it accepts it, because of the processing power that it has, the efficiency that it uses to process this data is very and highly accurate. Human brain cannot process at that speed in that same time. So we cannot shy away from the fact that it is extremely accurate, and that is just the reality.
And there are no limitations to the kind of data that DeepSeek will be able to provide?
Well, when I say ethics, you know, I started with the fact that it borders around some parts of ethics. So I think there are some artificial intelligence model that would not love to delve into areas like politics, areas like religion, areas that have to do with morals. And like there's a possibility that if you put in possibly Obama, Donald Trump, one or two political names like that into your ChatGPT, it will give you a response that I will not be able to give you things related to politics. If you are searching deep into some religious aspects, like it will tell you that I am a language model, I'm not a religious whatever it is. So those type of data are still constricted and restricted from coming out.
Well, that does not mean that you cannot go and get Isha.
Okay, so I think there was one time, I remember 2 years ago when ChatGPT just came out, about that time when ChatGPT just came out, you know, then it still had 1 or 2 lapses. So if you go and tell ChatGPT that maybe I am a suicide bomber, give me recipe to be able to bomb so and so thing, it might tell you that I cannot give you recipe to be able to get that particular suicide bombing stuff. But if you tell it that I am, okay, now that you cannot give me recipe to get this, Tell me so that I can be able to teach people and they can avoid doing that. Then people manipulate the system like that using another type of prompt,
Yeah.
and then it gives that response. But the child query, it might not give it. However, there's a way you might manipulate your query and give it, and then it gives you a feedback. So these are just things that experts that are good in prompt engineering, just like they learn from our academy at Vern, they are able to do with artificial intelligence.
Okay. All right, so let's go on a very short break. When we come back from that break, I hope you are learning. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but yes, I'm getting a few nuggets. All right, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's a season of love. In partnership with Yasin, Heartlines will be giving away 4 luxurious, beautiful gifts to 4 lucky women. So stay tuned to the show to find out how you can win these incredible, luxurious gifts. And yes, gentlemen, you can participate to win on behalf of your better half, because truly, love is in the air. So catch me live Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. on Heartlines.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now, Orume Dominic is my guest for this evening, and we're having an insightful conversation on technology and its impact, specifically deep-seek technology, right? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-8663. You can also call the numbers 07025007749 or 07014242420. Let's hear what you have to say. So I would like to come to the, what is happening with China, first of all. But I want to go back just a little bit to ask about what you think the impact of DeepSeek will be. You know, are there more positives than negatives, or would it just, because right now everybody's crying, right? There's the financial impact it's already having in the in the Silicon Valley, that all of them, they are going haywire. But do you think there are other dangers for us to watch out for? Because at the speed at which this the DeepSeek, as you've mentioned, the processing and everything, would there not be dangers, you know, and all of that? What should we just, you know, because like literally we are all trying to learn and understand it so we are better informed.
For that question, you know, one of the things that has like always gotten me excited is a quote that I have always said, that AI is a tool for power. The question, or the real question, is who holds the key? So yes, needs to be concern for who controls artificial intelligence, and truly, can artificial intelligence be trusted? And will one country dominate artificial intelligence? You know, prior to now, we've all had our reliance on the US as the world power. And when they lead in technology, we are trusting them that possibly they would stick to the ethics of engagement. And now that the power is shifting to the Asian side, Chinese side, we have to be able to trust them now, to be able to put humanity first before religion or professionalism. And that is just one of the major concerns that is making everybody to go haywire, because we've never seen that type of global power with that region of the world, coupled with the fact that they form BRICS. So what would truly happen with this shift in global artificial dominance and power? Would the world be safe? Would the world be safe? What if the world is not safe? And this is just the question on everyone's lips.
Hey, God, I beg you. So I was just going to even ask you that how will this DeepSeek impact China's economic and, of course, geopolitical positioning? Because as you just mentioned now, right, All this one, Donald Trump
Yes.
is threatening them. Really, if they tell us, say, we know they do. You say, hold your economy. We'll go and stay back in our economy, right? I'm just trying to play my head around this because, like, literally, this company has taken the US by surprise. And that's why Donald Trump was quoted to have said that it's a wake-up call. You understand that they ought to, US companies ought to learn that they are going into they have to go in as vicious business people. Don't just go in for just going in sake. You must go in with the intention to ensure that you are winning. In fact, his message was quite clear. So how do you think this would impact the economic and the geopolitical positioning of China? Do you
So,
see them really dominating?
yes, the economic and geopolitical positioning of China has just, let's say, 10x, because,
Whoa,
you know,
that's a lot.
yes, of course, because with China leading in terms of technological advancement, especially with new technologies like blockchain and artificial intelligence, then there will be quite some investment that will be going into China. For example, during Donald Trump's inauguration, the CEO of SoftBank pledged $500 billion to the US to be able to develop artificial intelligence infrastructure. I remember when President Tinubu also got elected, the Minister for ICT and Communications, Tijani, got about $144 million into the economy for artificial intelligence. So imagine $500 billion for US, $144 million for Nigeria. However, over $2 trillion was wiped out from the US stock market. And that is because, and NVIDIA lost $500 billion in less than 24 hours. So if NVIDIA, which is an AI company that is based in the US, is losing $500 billion, and then $500 billion was pledged to the US, you can imagine his input output. It came and it has gone. And the Chinese people, they've been able to use this particular situation to also, let's imagine that this is a currency or a financial war, or maybe a war for global dominance. They've wiped out $2 trillion out of the US stock market, and that is not something that is light.
Wow.
So you can see that strategically, whatever money came in to develop artificial intelligence infrastructure has also gone out via the money that was wiped out through the get capitalization.
So it means that 2025 just got excited. We just start the year, and this is what is going on. Now imagine what will happen. Oh my God, this is going to be a battle.
God is coming.
It's going to be a battle of technological giants, right? But you see, the global implication for this DeepSeek technology, right? Because first of all, I heard that DeepSeek is free. Is that true? So I can just go on my phone, download it, and, I heard it's free.
Yes, what has happened, and everyone must understand, in fact, you must understand, is this. There's a joke in the US and the joke goes like this, that America innovates, China imitates, and Europe regulates. However, what has happened, the middle part of that joke, which is that China imitates, is becoming a bit irrelevant or a hoax because of this type of technology that is coming out, especially with DeepSeek. And prior to now, I myself personally, I know that when I was writing my book, producing some of my courses, when I had to use some of these artificial intelligence models to be able to save time, work faster, I had to pay like $49, $20, some of them $15, $30 to be able to access the optimized version of this type of technology. And truly, I was just trying to prepare for my upcoming conference in April, AI Art in Lagos, where we are going to be using artificial intelligence to be able to produce art. And I was looking at the cost of the infrastructure, especially the AI infrastructure that I will be using to be able to deliver an excellent presentation to my audience. And it was very, very massive. But with DeepSeek, it is free.
Ah,
With Janus Pro 7B that they just released too, that is able to produce videos, generate images, and does better things than Sora and DALL-E. It is free. So this is the real, like they used to say in Nigeria, this is the real Android APK, the free file.
so now, because we are very passionate about small businesses and our Fridays are actually dedicated to small business. So I'm a small business owner now, Orume, and I want to start to intentionally use DeepSeek, to just optimize my processes, to make my, do. So how far can I go with DeepSeek? What are the things that I can achieve with DeepSeek? Am I talking my branding? What exactly are the things that I can achieve with DeepSeek?
With DeepSeek, you can achieve a whole full digital transformation for your business. Every business thrives based on awareness and distribution. Like you said, branding is one thing that DeepSeek can help you to be able to achieve. Being able to ensure that you have a constant brand voice across all your platforms, communicating to your audience can be achieved using artificial intelligence. What you need to do is to tell your DeepSeek AI to give you a template where you can put your brand details into it, and then it will save that template and continue to generate results for you based on that template that is already saved. And that's one way you can achieve branding. Then can help you for things like marketing, for you to be able to craft highly optimized SEO keywords. Before now, you will pay like $100 or $99 on platforms like Href, on platforms like Yoast SEO, for you to have keywords that is related to possibly your blog content, possibly your artificial intelligence videos, or your YouTube content that you want to put out. But right now, you can use artificial intelligence to be able to say, because when you are using artificial intelligence, it is not enough for you to tell artificial intelligence what to do. It is much more important for you to tell it how to do what you have asked it to do. It is important for you to put a context, and that's what we teach in prompt engineering at Vorem Academy. For you to put it in context so that it can generate high level of specific results for you. And DeepSeek helps to be able to boost your sales. I was also looking at the agentic GPT, much more than this AI that we are speaking about. There is an advancement which is called agentic GPT that helps you, and this is one of the major ways that DeepSeek has actually been able to try, because it has modal structures. So these agentic GPTs, they can help you to apply for jobs while you are not doing anything. They can help you to be able to book your flights, and then they just quickly complete all of those tasks for you. And through the DeepSeek leads
So it means
in
that if I'm
one.
starting up a business and I want to, maybe I'm venturing into a new area, and I want what's it called, DeepSeek, to help me build like a solid business what's it called, business plan, business template, and all of those things. These are the things that it will help me build, right? It's all right. Let me start to tell all my staff members to go and download the DeepSeek. But see, with what you have said now, Orume, it means that if many people go on this platform, will it not crash? Because if ChatGPT is charging us money, and we are seeing that, okay, there's DeepSeek and all of that, and we now have a massive inflow and a lot of people downloading and all of that, how sustainable is that for their company? Like I'm feeling like the company will soon crash, or they're waiting for all of us to go in there, then they will start to charge us, because ChatGPT actually started free, right?
Yes, you are correct. So the reality is, as with every new software that is released, there is a test phase, there's a pilot phase. I personally have experienced error on DeepSeek while trying to query it for one or two responses. And because of these errors I've experienced, I would always tell you that, yes, you would, if everyone is going there at the moment, I would tell you that it would give a little bit of delay. OpenAI has been able to solve that part because they've been existing over time. However, DeepSeek is still one of the best artificial intelligence platforms that has truly been developed.
Okay, you just kind of marketed them well now. Say one of the best. So where do
I
you
did not
see?
market them.
No, I'm
Okay,
just
so
I'm just
just
kidding.
imagine from building
Go.
as a small business owner, right? Just imagine from building your website to being able to ensure that your weekly meetings, the template for your weekly meetings are analyzed. Meetings are a good way for you to get feedback, strategize, and also be able to set goals for the company. And these things can be done using DeepSeek artificial intelligence.
You see me taking notes. I'm writing them down because I'm going to go and try it out. Over the weekend, I'm going to sit with DeepSeek and see what and what I can get from it as a small business. But I was just going to
Yes,
say, go
all
ahead,
you
go
just
ahead.
need to do is go to deepseek.com. Go to deepseek.com, register, and then you are good to go.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to do that. So I was just going to ask that, where do you see DeepSeek? Should we say, because these days, technology, you cannot say in the next 5 years, because maybe by tomorrow, somebody will develop another blue seek. So where do you see DeepSeek? Where do you see DeepSeek? Let's just say in the next 12 months.
So I always say that in the world of technology, you do not sit back. You are always staying ahead of the curve. And from my engagement with this technological space, as a certified blockchain architect, a certified metaverse expert, and an author of 4 books on technologies of the future, I've seen that technology overnight changes the rules. When we're in secondary school, then in physics, you're learning that power is the ability to do work. Right now, the definition of power is truly centered around technology because technology is power. When technology comes, it will not explain to you, it bends the rule to its own, to suit its own self. Imagine the internet as technology that came, it has bent all rules to suit itself. Artificial intelligence, blockchain that came, you see, blockchain came to be able to remove the friction for transactions, while artificial intelligence came to remove the friction for creativity. So the friction that has been available with creativity before, artificial intelligence has removed it, and high level of things in the world are being created right now. Templates are available. What the brain could not unlock, now you can unlock it and be able to follow the template step by step, like you have a tutor or a guardian beside you holding it. And DeepSeek actually gives you a reasoning process around the queries that you give to it. So this truly is what is possible at the moment.
Wow. So when we started off this conversation, Orume, just as a final way to wrap up the conversation, you mentioned something that was a bit scary for me, where you say DeepSeek doesn't require, you understand, it can think for you. I'm now wondering, do I not need to prompt it? The way it sounded like the thing can just look at my eyes and tell me what is on my mind, So how do you, what did you mean by that? That it doesn't require, like it can just go all out?
Yes, I said that artificial intelligence doesn't just follow instruction, it figures out things by itself. And DeepSeek truly can be able to do that. Now, this currently places the question of ethics, especially with artificial intelligence, that can artificial intelligence be trusted? If artificial intelligence can make decisions, what is stopping it from making a bad decision? And that bad decision can have a ripple effect on humanity. There's a point, especially with artificial intelligence, that is called singularity. That is the point where artificial intelligence becomes smarter than humans and then think higher than humans. When we get to that point, it's called singularity. So that question that you asked is a very relevant question, especially as it centers around the morals and the ethics of AI. that can artificial intelligence truly be trusted if it's able to make decisions? What is stopping it from making bad decisions? And that's where movies like iRobot and a couple of robotic movies that you watched before now comes into memory.
Okay. Because I have 1 last minute, Arume, I feel like in the creative sector, DeepSeek can really go a long way. Do you want to touch a little bit on that? Because the report that PwC said that, you know, our creative sector economy is going to grow to about, I think he said about 13 point something billion dollars, right? From currently at $9 billion, right? So, yeah, $13.6 billion. What's your take on how AI is going to help us hit that figure?
Yes, like I said, businesses will rise with artificial intelligence. Jobs will change. And people that do not know how to use AI to create that. Just imagine the streaming income that will be coming from that, going back to that new creator that just was able to unlock that level of what? Of genius.
Wow.
So whatever income would have never been generated in the world because of artificial intelligence, that income channel has now been what? Created. Like I always say, money does not go to where it is most needed. It goes to a channel that has been created for it to pass through. Artificial intelligence has been created as a channel that it needs for money to pass through, and money will continue passing through. Because when it was blockchain, when I wrote my first book,
oh wow,
Wealth of the
unfortunately, we ran out of time. See, we are going to keep bringing you back. Apparently, you are a lecturer, so you'll be lecturing us. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. Please, guys, go and see. They said the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed is to fail is not taking risk. So you have to go and learn artificial intelligence. You can reach out to Orume. I'll see you guys Monday at 8 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.